Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're diving into revocable versus irrevocable trusts, a crucial topic for anyone planning their estate, protecting assets, or minimizing taxes. Trusts are legal arrangements where a grantor transfers assets to a trustee to manage for beneficiaries. They help avoid probate, control asset distribution, and achieve tax goals. The key distinction is flexibility. Revocable trusts can be altered or revoked, while irrevocable trusts are permanent once established. We'll cover definitions, differences, benefits, drawbacks, tax implications, when to use each, setup processes, and practical considerations, all updated for 2025. So let's get cracking with the video. First, we want to understand revocable trusts, often called revocable living trusts. A revocable trust is created during the grantor's lifetime, allowing them to retain full control as both trustee and beneficiary initially. The grantor can amend items, add or remove assets, change beneficiaries, or dissolve the trust entirely at any time. Upon the grantor's death, the trust becomes irrevocable, and the assets pass to beneficiaries according to the terms, bypassing probate court. This avoids the time, cost, and public exposure of probate, which can take 6 to 12 months and cost 3 to 7% of the estate value in fees. Revocable trusts also provide seamless management. If the grantor becomes incapacitated, as a successor trustee steps in without court intervention like guardianship. The primary benefits of revocable trusts include flexibility and control. You maintain access to assets, can use them freely, and adjust for life changes like marriage, divorce, or new children. They ensure privacy as trust details aren't public like wills and probate. For families with assets in multiple states, revocable trusts prevent ancillary probate in each jurisdiction, saving significant time and money. They can incorporate pour-over wills to catch any unfunded assets. In 2025, with rising real estate values, revocable trusts are popular for holding homes, investments, and retirement accounts to streamline inheritance. However, revocable trusts have limitations. They offer no asset protection from creditors or lawsuits, as assets remain in the grantor's estate and are accessible. There's no reduction in estate taxes since the IRS treats the trust as part of the grantor's taxable estate. Income generated by trust assets is taxed directly to the grantor on their personal return, with no separate trust tax filing required unless the trust earns over $600 annually after death. Setup involves funding the trust, retitling assets like deeds, bank accounts, and stocks, which can be overlooked, rendering the trust essentially ineffective from an asset protection point of view. Now shift to irrevocable trusts. An irrevocable trust cannot be modified, amended, or revoked by the grantor after creation without beneficiary consent or court approval, which is rare and difficult. The grantor relinquishes ownership and control, transferring assets permanently to the trust. Common types include irrevocable life insurance trusts, ILITs, for holding policies outside the estate. Charitable remainder trusts, CRTs, for tax deductions while providing income. Special needs trusts, SNTs, for disabled beneficiaries without disqualifying government benefits. And Medicaid Asset Protection Trusts, MAPTs, for long-term care planning. The main advantages of irrevocable trusts are asset protection and tax savings. By removing assets from the grantor's estate, they shield against creditors, lawsuits, and divorce claims, as the grantor no longer controls them. For estate taxes, this reduces the taxable estate value. In 2025, the federal estate tax exemption is about $14 million per individual, or about $28 million for married couples, with a 40% tax rate on amounts above that. Only estates exceeding this face taxes, But with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act sunsetting at the end of 2025, potentially, this exemption would drop to about 7 million in 2026, adjusted for inflation, making irrevocable trusts vital for high net worth individuals, really anyone even close to that $7 million threshold, to lock in current exemptions via gifting. Irrevocable trusts can also minimize gift taxes, with the 2025 annual gift tax exclusion at $18,000 per recipient. For income taxes, irrevocable trusts are separate entities potentially taxed at compressed brackets, reaching 37% at just $15,200 of income in 2025. But strategies like distributing income to beneficiaries in lower brackets can mitigate this. Irrevocable trusts excel in specific scenarios. For Medicaid planning, assets in a MAPT are excluded from eligibility calculations after a 5-year look-back period, protecting against nursing home costs averaging $100K annually. ILITs remove life insurance proceeds from the estate, avoiding taxes on policies that could push estates over the exemption. CRTs provide charitable deductions up to 60% of adjusted gross income for cash gifts while generating annuity payments. However, drawbacks include loss of control. Grantors can't access assets or change terms, and higher complexity, requiring independent trustees and annual tax filings, such as Form 1041. Higher trust income tax rates apply if income isn't distributed, and gifting to the trust may trigger gift taxes if exceeding annual exclusions or lifetime exemptions. Comparing revocable and irrevocable trusts highlights 6 key differences. First, flexibility. Revocable allows changes anytime, irrevocable is fixed. Second, control. In revocable, the grantor manages assets. In irrevocable, a third-party trustee does. Third, asset protection. No asset protection in a revocable trust, and strong asset protection in irrevocable trusts against creditors and Medicare spend down. Fourth, tax implications. Revocable offers no estate or gift tax relief, with income taxed to the grantor. Irrevocable reduces estate taxes by removing assets, but may face higher income taxes. Fifth, probate avoidance. Both achieve this, but revocable is simpler for everyday use. And sixth, setup complexity. Revocable is straightforward. Irrevocable often requires appraisals, gift tax returns, Form 709, and ongoing compliance. When choosing between them, depends on your goals and net worth. Use a revocable trust if your estate is under the 2025 exemption of $13.99 million. You want to avoid probate, plan for incapacity, and retain control. Ideal for middle-class families with homes and investments totaling, say, $1 to $5 million. It's also suitable for blended families to specify inheritance without court interference. Opt for an irrevocable trust if you have assets over $14 million, need creditor protection, such as professionals like doctors facing malpractice risks, or are planning for long-term care to qualify for Medicaid without depleting savings. High net worth individuals should consider irrevocable trusts before the 2026 exemption. For special needs, irrevocable SNTs preserve SSI and Medicaid eligibility. In states with inheritance taxes like Pennsylvania or New Jersey, irrevocable trusts can minimize state-level taxes, which range from 4 to 16% and apply to estates as low as $675,000 in some cases. Setting up either trust requires professional help. Start with an estate planning attorney experienced in your state, as trust laws vary. Community property states like California differ from common law states like Florida. For revocable trusts, draft the trust document outlining terms, name trustees and beneficiaries, and fund it by transferring assets, change titles on deeds, reassign bank accounts, and name the trust as beneficiary on life insurance or IRAs. And by the way, if you're looking for an estate planning attorney, you're looking for someone that can set up trusts, MyLatinLife, we can help with trusts both in the US as well as offshore trusts in places like Nevis, Panama, Guatemala, lots of really good jurisdictions in Latin America and the Caribbean. So book a call with MyLatinLife. There's a link in the description. You can book a call with us. We can have a one-on-one consultation and get all your burning questions answered and get you on the pathway to asset protection and internationalization and diversification. Setting up either trust requires professional help. For irrevocable, the process is more involved. You have to appraise your assets for gift tax purposes. You have to file Form 709 if gifts exceed $18,000 annually, and ensure the trustee is independent to maintain irrevocability. Funding is permanent, so choose assets wisely. Appreciating stocks or real estate maximize tax savings. In 2025, there are digital tools that can help as well, but always review with an attorney to comply with state-specific rules. There's a lot of gotchas out there. Practical tips include reviewing trusts annually or after major life events to ensure they align with current laws and goals, especially with the 2026 exemption changes looming. Fund trusts fully to avoid probate pitfalls. For irrevocable, you can use what are called crummy powers in ILITs to allow beneficiaries withdrawal rights for gift tax exclusions. Consider hybrid options like revocable trusts with irrevocable subtrusts for specific assets. Avoid common mistakes like naming yourself as trustee in irrevocable trusts, which could void protections, or failing to update beneficiaries after a divorce or other significant life event. Consult a CPA for tax strategies, as irrevocable trusts can use grantor trust rules intentionally for income tax benefits while achieving estate tax exclusion. In summary, revocable trusts provide flexibility and probate avoidance without the tax perks, suiting most people, while irrevocable trusts really take it to the next level and offer robust protection and tax advantages at the cost of giving up a level of control, which can be essential for larger estates or specific needs. With the 2025 estate tax landscape, now is the time to plan. If you're unsure, maybe start with a revocable trust and layer in irrevocable elements as needed. And remember, if you want one-on-one help, you want someone to hold your hand through this, link in the description. You can book a call with us, and we look forward to speaking with you. So that's the full breakdown on revocable versus irrevocable trusts. If this video helped, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.